Yo, we are live on a, God, what day is today anyway? Monday? Monday night? Facebook land? Not in the mood to do a video right now, actually, at all. But I'm doing one. Doing one because that's why I'm... Alright, I think we're back. Alright, so poor connection or not, hopefully we're good and we're live and we're still going. Didn't want to do a video tonight. Actually didn't want to do freaking anything tonight. So that's why I'm doing the video. And it says right there in the description, inspired by Mary Lou, because she inspires me to do so many things in my life. I'd say I wouldn't be nearly half the man I am today if it wasn't for her inspiration of things to do and things to learn and things to look at and things to read and places to go, and today is no less than that. So we were in a car on the way home from my grand adventure of what do you call it, the pet scan I had this afternoon, and we were talking about the videos that I've been doing and talking about how, you know, and a lot of my videos are really like smiling, happy, positive videos that have an inspirational message, feel-good story, or happy Hollywood ending, you know, and most of my videos come across with some sort of learning and happiness that I'm out there and I'm sharing. And I'm kind of putting it on, even though I'm still really not supposed to be doing that. I guess I kind of still am. I sort of turn it on a little bit. And that's not always authentic, and so like, I'm like, oh, you know what, that's true, so I apologize that not authentic moments if I might have turned it on a little more, just because I maybe thought I needed to push through more energy when I didn't have it. And I think really the more authentic I can come across during this journey, and it's going to be more beneficial for all of us involved. And yeah, so we were talking about how some of my videos have so much happy stuff, and dogs coming to visit me in the hospital, and going to pet sanctuaries, and going to play gigs and things like that. But what about on the days where things kind of suck a little bit, and then you don't hear from me on those days? And Mary's like, why aren't you sharing those days? Why aren't you really going in there when you don't want to go in there? When you feel least like doing the video, and you feel least like sharing what's truthfully happening, then you choose to not do the video. So I have to say, Mary Lou, you are correct. You have inspired this video because you have inspired me to speak about on the days when it's not the dog visiting me in the hospital bed and the pet sanctuaries, and sharing some intimate realities of what cancer and chemo can do to you. Mary Lou said it really interesting in the car on the way home, and she said, because I'm like, yeah, man, like some days I try to put on that face. I try to put on that happy, positive face, and we can do it. And by no means do I feel like the outcome's any different. It's going to be the same. It's going to be a successful outcome. One of those days where I kind of just feel like, you know. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you know, having cancer isn't cake. And then that made so much sense, you know. And well, I actually had to have her explain what that meant to me first when we got home. But what she meant by having cancer isn't cake is that, you know, you can have cake every day, vegan cake preferably, but on some of those days you ain't gonna have the cake. It's not gonna be there. It's not gonna show up. The vegan ice cream cake's gonna melt, or it's gonna be stale, or whatever happened. There isn't gonna be cake, and on those days are, you know, those days that aren't as good of days. You still have to kind of keep plowing through without the cake. So there's that. So thank you, Mary Lou, for the inspiration, and for, you know, pushing me to do this video when I least wanted to do it. And so today I'm not going to bitch. It's going to sound like I'm bitching a little bit. I might bitch a little bit, but I want to make it very like upfront and clear. This is not a video seeking sympathy. So I do not want I'm sorry's that you have this, and oh, it's too bad that you have that. I it's fine. I get it. It's part of the gig. You know, it's just what we have to go through when we're doing this, and it's part of reality. And so what I'm trying to do is just share this as well, me pushing through in fears of exposing my truths, pushing through in fears to you, as well as facing my reality, which I guess I tend to sort of bottle up a little bit, not face the reality that I'm going through. And sometimes by doing these videos, I have you all as my accountability partner in a sense, where I have to sort of speak about, oh, that's what's going on, okay. So I really can kind of get a grasp on it, So, we've got obviously that side of the coin, but by sharing these truths, even on the hard days, we can maybe educate people as to what it's like for someone who has cancer. Also, what it's like for someone who's taking care of someone who has cancer, like in Mary Lou's case. Like so many people, and she's amazing, and she's doing everything she can and more for me. And I know you guys all love her and know that she's doing so great, but a lot of people pass her right over. Hit her up directly and just go right to how's Justin, and it's people don't realize that, like, we gotta stop and ask Mary, like, how are you, and so I really encourage you guys to connect with her, because I'm telling you how I'm doing through these videos and stuff, but like she's not as much, and she's doing everything to support for two people and do all the chores in the house, and emotionally carry a lot of the weight of us right now. So so please keep on Mary Lou, because that's also not cake. Is being a caregiver is kind of like not having your cake every day. And if anyone knows Mary, you know that she likes her friggin' cake. So give Mary some cake, man. Okay, so now I can share the day today, my day. I had a cat/pet scan today, so I had a fast, right? So no food, okay. Now when you're in the hospital doing a chemo for a week straight, an entire week straight, you're rigged up to, at all times, 4 bags. 3 different chemos every day, one that drips 24 hours, another medicine 24 hours, fluids 24 hours, 3 different anti-nausea meds, plus I don't even know what else. They pump that through you for an entire week. What happens is that sometimes builds up in parts of your body. So like when I was in the hospital, my legs got really like twice the size. My lower gut was like hanging over, and it was all just water hanging and trapped in all these weird parts of my body. And what I've noticed, I don't know how everybody's body works, but I've noticed on my body is that there's certain areas that are still carrying this water. Even now, even though a lot of it is gone, there are still little pockets of it. Almost a week later from me getting out, and that's kind of normal, I guess. But you guys, you can imagine what that leads to is having to pee a lot. Sometimes that pee, when it hits you, it's like, gotta go right now, no question about it. It's insane how it hits you. Like, I guess it just releases from a part of your body and says, we're out now. So I don't know if anybody else who's ever been hooked up to IV rigs or port rigs or whatever has that experience, but that's an experience. Now, this morning, I had an experience that I haven't had in, since I was in the very early single digits, maybe 4. So can you imagine this conversation as I grab Mary and bring her to my side of the bed to show her that I, at some point, completely pissed myself. There it is. It was fucking everywhere. I don't know how, when, or where. I was beside myself and how that could even happen. Of all the years of drunken craziness in college, of all the years touring with bands, the debauchery on the tour buses, hitting Europe and late night drinking, and all the insanity, I never pissed myself in any one of those situations. But for some reason, thanks to this side effect of the buildup from the fluids and the chemo, I started today in my own urine. Let's have a hand for me. Now you all know. That's the truthful, embarrassing reality of what I guess doing weeks of chemo at a time can do for somebody. So that's how we started the day. As you can imagine, it's quite early, and I'm half asleep, and we're trying to clear the sheets. It's on the bedspread and the pillowcases and the undercover of everything, and I'm like naked and it's dark, and then I get a shot of myself in the mirror, and I see this body bloated and puffy, loss of muscle, bald head, and I had this moment where I was like, who the fuck is that? And I didn't recognize my own reflection. That's another reality of when chemo is not, or when cancer is not cake. When you realize that your body's changing right before your eyes, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You kind of have to accept it, keep it strong as much as you can, but accept it. So after dealing with all that, getting the laundry started and laying down for a little bit longer, we kind of had to get the day going. I'm fasting, remember. What else? Oh, I have, here's another just awful truth, but you guys are going to be the ones to hear it first. Being on all those meds affects your, speaking of going to the bathroom, your number 2 movements as well. And let me just tell you that the first week after you're out of the hospital, it hurts every time. I haven't quite figured out how to prevent or solve this one yet with all this kind of medicine, but it hurts. And so I am now 2 for 2 of leaving the hospital and getting the old hemorrhoid, you know, the old friend that reminds you you're there every time you sit weird. Oh yes, it has come. It has come again. 2 times in a row. Hemorrhoids 2, Justin 0. But hey, we'll get past that too. It's a minor thing, right, guys? But this is when cancer is not cake. Cancer is hemorrhoids. I have developed another mouth sore. This time it's on the very tip of my tongue, right at the tip there, which is interesting. Every time it bangs in the back of my teeth, I gotta keep swirling with this salt and baking soda mix every, like, I don't know, every hour or so, as much as possible throughout the day. Keep swirling with that stuff to help those mouth sores go away. And you know, that's pretty much it. I went to my PET scan, CAT scan today. That's the big test that we did, and that's going to determine to make sure that there's still no tumor markers anywhere else, no hot spots anywhere else, and instead also see in addition to see what the tumor looks like now, how it has moved, how has it shrunk, has it decreased in size, where is it, giving us a really good vibe and a good idea. And we'll do the tumor marker blood work on Friday, so we can get a really good grasp on, where it's at. And truthfully, I wish it was done right now. I was hoping and praying for just 2 rounds, and I guess it's always possible that they could say, yeah, but the protocol is 4, and they're already planning on me. I already got the call from the hospital. I'm already scheduled for 4. So, the reality is that I'm scheduled to go again for another week, and then 2 weeks at home, and again for another week, and then 2 weeks at home, and that hit me again today. Again, cancer is not cake, and you realize that you have to go spend another week rigged up to a bunch of machines in a hospital, getting heavy drugs that keep knocking you down, because another side effect of this week has been just exhaustion. I'm narcoleptic these days. First few days after the hospital was really bad. I just kept passing out. Now I've been able to do longer stints. I was able to make it through that entire show yesterday, and I played the gig with the kids. But I had to really use my backup battery operations to get through, because when I got home I took a 3-hour nap. So that's another cancer is not cake. You want to get stuff done, but I just feel lethargic. I feel like I need to do more work things, and need to make some calls, and I know I need to rest more, but I feel like I'm just I'm letting certain things down in my life and for our business and things, and I need to find a way to push through. But again, it's just sometimes the thought of even sitting up in bed gets tired. So that is not cake, most definitely not cake. So anyway, went to the appointment today. Of course, didn't eat anything. They took me in. They have to rig me. They couldn't do the port today. They didn't have the right staff, so they had to rig another IV to do. I had to do the sugar. They're basically called radioactive sugar crystals that go all over your body to detect any hot spots. And then they pushed some other fluids through. And then once I had to drink 3 glasses of barium and sit in the dark for 45 minutes. once they brought me in, I got in the big, PET scan machine. They hooked up my IV to another machine that dispenses the iodine for the contrast, and they put my hands on my head. So they wheel me back, and they're doing their thing for however long they're doing it. And then they're like, I get the speaker, they're like, all right, we'll go ahead and inject the iodine now. And he goes, it might feel a little warm. And I'm waiting for it. My arm just starts feeling really cold, like all the way down my arm. Like what? Like it just felt very strange. And all of a sudden it started feeling really wet. And I just looked up behind my head, and I saw the needle was completely pulled out, and the fluid was spraying everywhere. So I started yelling for the guy. Thankfully he heard me, and he came running in and cleaned it up. But unfortunately we had to do, while I was in the machine, he had to pull me out and start yet another IV. So another needle. I swear to you guys, I've been in the last few weeks, more needles have gone in this body. I don't know, man. I guess like tattoos are better than these. I tell you that much. So he rigged me back in, and they finished doing the PET scan. Everything else seemed pretty okay after that, but we'll get the results on Thursday. I'm gonna see my cardiothoracic on Thursday and get his thoughts, and then we're gonna see my oncologist Friday, and then do the final blood work, and then we're scheduled to go back on Tuesday. Man, I'm it's the truth. The truth is that a chemo is, it's hard on the body, but I feel like I can take it. I feel like, every round it's going to make it a little bit harder, maybe a little more tired, but I can take it. I don't know, again, after round 4, I don't know if I'll be having the same conversation with you. But with this particular tumor, because it's, germ cell tumor, it's going to shrink to a certain point. Then we're going to, have to go in there for the final open chest surgery. Guys, that's actually what's freaking me out more than anything. So, it's almost like I can take the chemo. Like, I'll fight that, I'll stay strong, but the thought of going under and having a full open chest procedure done, with all the risks involved, and then hopefully if it goes okay, having my rib cage locked back together with titanium, and then having that healing process, and then however long, I don't even know what the time frame is before I'm able to, do anything, athletic, get back on the flag football field, I don't know. But that part scares me. Being under the knife of that surgery actually really scares me. I can't be the game show host of positivity when it comes to that, because it scares me. And more truths in our talk on the way home from the appointment today. Of course, there's a little traffic coming back from Santa Monica and 4 something in the afternoon. We were able to talk a little bit and kind of had Mary Lou and I had a kind of a deep conversation on many levels, and and I was able to also go inside myself a little bit as well, and what I realized that I've been talking about give less fuck, hashtag give less fucks, like getting cancer. If anything, teaches you to give less fucks, and everyone should give less fucks, and this is true. We should give less and less fucks. We all give too many fucks, but there are still things that I'm giving a fuck about, and I'm giving a fuck that I give a fuck, but that's angering me. But I'm realizing that I felt like almost I started learning a lot of lessons and stopped giving lots of fucks right away, and then it almost stopped. Like I stopped learning. Like, okay, so this is it. I've learned all my lessons because I'm still giving a fuck about way too many things. I'm still taking way too much of my life for granted. When am I going to learn these big lessons? How much more does it have to beat me down? Is that what this is? Do I have to just be so physically beaten that I really see how blessed my life is? I see how amazing my wife is, and stop, living to work, and stop, mismanaging my day and not making enough time to explore life and have adventures and spend time with my wife and do things that matter with people. Mary made a great point earlier about how really, the most important thing is the adventures we have and the connections we make with human beings and the experiences we have in life. And she's right. We take a lot of that for granted, especially when we're working really hard towards goals, big goals, and things like that. Even going through this cancerous situation is that I I have all this extra time, but I almost like I don't. I'm still like seeing time go by really fast. I'm like, wow, why is time still going by so fast? It's like almost time to go back in the hospital already, and there the time goes by fast. I guess it's good in one sense that it's going by fast, but in a sense not so good because I almost feel like I'm missing the opportunities, the benefits, and I know there's benefits, all wrapped up throughout this whole thing. There's lots and lots of benefits, and I just want to make sure that I'm getting each step of the way and that I'm not missing any benefits, because like in life, when you have those big life lessons, if you don't learn them, they keep showing up, and they keep showing up in bigger ways. And mine, hello, heart, receiving love, being there, opening to actual true love is, has been my biggest wake-up call. If I get past this and don't learn that lesson, then what? What's the next thing that's going to have to wake my ass up to finally learn this ever-important lesson of really allowing deep connection with people, and especially those closest to me, and especially in my relationships and my wife and everything. The importance of seeking that deeper love and that deeper connection, how important that is for all of us as human beings, that I miss sometimes because I have my eye on the prize too much. So, okay. So I think I've divulged a lot. You've learned a lot of truths about my day. We've talked about bedwetting and hemorrhoids and needles and and mouth sores. What else fun things have we talked about? I don't know. Thanks for hanging out, though. I'm glad I was able to talk about this important subject. Cancer is not cake, because as well, I don't know if any of us know. Do I know? I guess I'm making it seem like cake sometimes, because I kind of get on when there's great things happening or cool news to share, like the dogs in my bed or playing gigs for kids, and I share all those cool things. But it's not fair to the journey. If I really truly am being truthful to sharing my journey, and I said I'd be sharing every step of the way, I'd be sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly, the realizations I make, the lessons I learn. I really then have to follow through with sharing the days when cancer ain't cake. And sometimes you just got to hear about some of the realities of what I'm going through, and maybe that helps you understand the life of someone going through cancer. Maybe, hopefully, it'll help you understand the life of someone who is the caregiver, realizing how much extra work there really is. I feel like sometimes the things I hated doing, like cleaning the litter box, I now feel like I'm missing something, so I can't do it, and I have to rely on Mary to do all the chores that I would normally do. And it's like, even those little things that you can't do that because of a situation, you feel sort of helpless, or sort of like less than a human, or less than a man of the house, or whatever. But I'm learning, and I'm learning that right now some things I'm just not going to be able to do, and we'll have our friends help where Mary can't, and hopefully I'll just keep learning more and more lessons and getting more and more benefits, and that when I come through on the other end of this, whole and healthy and hearty and ready to go, I will have taken all these benefits with me, and it'll be like a reawakening, a rebirth, a new life that I get to live with a different perspective. But the hard days are going to be ahead. There'll be more. I'm sure there'll be harder days than today. There'll be pain, there'll be suffering, there'll be depression, there'll be anger, there'll be confusion, and we'll just take each step as we go, with each hurdle as we do it. So thank you, Mary, for inspiring this video, and for inspiring me, and for being you, because you're amazing, and I love you. And everyone, keep sending Mary your love and keep supporting her. And everyone else out there, I hope you are having a beautiful evening, and have enjoyed this little session on Facebook Live. I will talk to you next time there's something good or bad to share, and we can go a little deeper into some of my crazy cancer is not cake life. You guys have a great night. I love you, and I will talk to you later.